Hey everyone, Jordan from Burris Optics. Today we're going to go over best practices for power management on the Veracity PH. It's important to know that the digital features on this scope just enhance your experience. You can still dial to the correct MOA and be successful on your hunt if your batteries were to die for any reason on your trip. Inside the scope, you can set the display timeout as well as an auto off. To do that, use your Burris Connect mobile application, go to the optic, and under the settings screen, you can see the two different options. I recommend choosing settings that are appropriate for your shooting scenario. If you're doing a competition or you're on the range all day, you probably don't want your scope to time out or your display to go off. I would set those to the minimal settings, knowing that you're going to be constantly using the scope. If you're out in the field and you're on a hunt, you might not want your display to time out, but it's okay for that scope to go to sleep. So just look at the different settings and make a selection that you think is appropriate for your scenario. If the display does go to sleep, there's two ways to wake it up. You can rotate your elevation dial, or you can move your illumination control on the side. Either one of those will wake up the display. If the scope itself goes to sleep, the only way to wake it up is to cycle from the off position to any of your illumination settings. That'll wake it up and you'll be ready to go in no time. I recommend putting the scope in the off position if you know you're not going to be using it. It wakes up in seconds, so it's not a big deal to go from off to your selected illumination control in a hunting situation. It's the best way to guarantee that you're going to be saving power when the scope's not in use. But that shouldn't be that big of a deal because we do get 40+ hours of continuous use out of this optic. More than enough to get you through a hunting season or a couple days during a competition or on the range. If you know that you're not going to be using your scope for an extended period of time, if you're going to put it in the gun safe and you think, I'm not going to pull this out until next year for hunting, or it's going to be months and months between shoots, like a lot of electronic devices, the best way to guarantee that those batteries aren't going to die is just remove them, put them up in your safe or put them in your gun case next to your scope and add them back to the optic when you're ready to go next time. That's all I've got for best practices for power management for the Veracity PH. If you want to learn more about this scope, including how to set it up, what's included in the box, or anything else about other Burris products, you can click on the link below or go to burrisoptics.com.